بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم الحمد لله رب العالمین و صلی الله علی محمد و آله الطاهرین. First and foremost, I must express my gratitude to the respected managers of this center and this mosque. And I think that the signs of sincerity, ikhlas are evident in this building. And I was moved when I hear the story of the late Mr. Musavi and the success and blessing God bestowed upon him. And last week, it was my first time I came here at the invitation of the respected managers. And I have a personal practice. Whenever I was about to visit a place for the first time, I seek spiritual guidance through the Holy Quran. And when I was leaving home, I opened the Quran and this verse appeared. لا يسمعون حسيسها وهم فيما اشتهت أنفسهم خالدون. Means referring to Ahl al-Jannah, the people of paradise. It says they will never hear even the faint sound of the hell, and they will remain in what their souls desire. I came here, and if you remember, last Saturday there was the celebration for birthday of Imam Mahdi. And at the beginning of celebration, our friend Mr. Ishraqi recited the Quran, and the first verse he recited was لا يسمعون حسيسها وهم فيما اشتهت أنفسهم خالدون. I was amazed by that. Okay, because this is my first meeting with you, my brothers and sisters, and even Mr. Ishraqi introduced, I found it necessary to briefly introduce myself, not as a self-praise, but as a quality assurance. As educated people and educated audience, you deserve to know what is the source of the perspective that tonight I share with you. I studied at the seminary of Qom for 35 years, and I got my ijtihad from my master's theory of Ayatollah in Qom, issued certificate for my ijtihad. And don't look at my appearance that as I'm not wearing the official clerical robes because I'm not settled yet. Maybe in the future, who knows? And after a while, I started teaching, and I have taught for 25 years from the introductory level, then intermediate level, Sutuh, and finally, I have taught for several years the highest level at the Shia seminary, which is called Darsul Kharij. I was a mudarris of Darsul Kharij, Kharij al-Fiqh, and Kharij al-Usul in seminary of Qom. And I published 8 books in Qom in Arabic and Persian in fiqh, Shia fiqh. 9 years ago, I decided to move borders of Iran to bridge my traditional training with modern academia, and I got my PhD with distinction. After I got my PhD, I invited as a visiting professor to University of Toronto at the Department of Historical Studies. And after I finished my contract with them, I dedicated myself to convey and transfer Shia teaching to Western academic centers. And in this regard, I published a book with many reputable publisher, Routledge, Oxford University Press, and Leiden University Press. And okay, let's turn to our topic and discussion tonight. Thank you. Today we are surrounded by a surge of inquiries and doubts regarding religion. Whether on the social media or on satellite channels, question about religion in general and the foundation of Shia school in particular are everywhere. As an Islamic researcher, I committed to use any platform I am given to address these challenges. And I curated a detailed list of this question. And tonight, because we stand on the threshold of the holy months of Ramadan, I have chosen one of the fundamental questions in this regard. The core question is that if we can recognize by our reason the all ethical norms, and we can commit to observe those rules, so why do we need religion to having ethical life and to be a moral person? Our reason is capable of understanding all ethical norms without need for religion. In other words, given the possibility of having health and ethical society, why do we need confine ourselves within the structure of religion, perform rituals that many preserve as a mere formalities, perform salat, observe fasting, and constantly limit ourselves? Why? This approach and this idea became a very popular today here in the West, especially among youth. This is a question that many people raise this question. And even major institutions in the West, like Templeton Foundation, spend years funding massive projects under this title. Those who advocate this approach that we do not need for religion to being ethical person argue that human being has a faculty which is practical reason, and that is, they call it as the common sense. And common sense is able to understand all ethical norms. Perhaps the most well-known philosopher who supports this idea is Immanuel Kant in the 18th century. He argued that all people around the world, regardless of any affiliation, religion, nation, race, culture, admires certain virtues like honesty, chastity, justice, and detest certain vices such as injustice, oppression, like this. This is the evidence that the common sense which is shared between all people is able to understand the wrong and right, and we do not need religion for being ethical. Before I provide my answer to this question, I would like to hear from you just for a minute. Look inward and answer this question. As a Shia Muslim, how do you justify need for religion while your reason can recognize all ethical norms? Okay. I will provide the answer for this question from 2 points of view. From the perspective of a believer, whether Muslim, Christian, Jew, and the second point of view from the point of view of non-believer. From the point of view of a believer, if I want to answer this question, why we need for religion while our reason is able to understand all ethical norms? This is the question. As a believer, we know that this worldly and material life is not all we have. Human being will experience different lives after death. Life in the barzakh, life in mahshar. What is mahshar? Gathering. And life after accounting, which is whether to hell or to paradise. So we have different lives after our death. Saadi has a beautiful poems in this regard. I always influenced by this poem, and I do not translate the poem because it's a unique lyrical charm will be lost if I translate. Saadi says, خاک من و توست که باد شمال میبردش سوی یمین و شمال بس که در آغوش لحد بگذرد بر من و تو روز و شب و ماه و سال مالک تقتر به معمورة یعقبها الهدم او الانتقال گر به مثل جام جم است آدمی سنگ اجل بشکندش چون سفال بس که در این خاک ممزق شده است پیکر خوبان بدیع الجمال. So we have lives after our death, and because of this, therefore we should not seek prosperity just for this limited short life in this world. We have to seek our prosperity for our future lives that are after our death. And the prosperity and happiness for those lives will be secured by ethics, by morality, because ethics regulate our relations with others, those existence in that realm, in those future lives. Who are they? God, angels, unseen beings. That realm is the realm of unseen, the realm of ghaib. So, ethics shows us that how we behave toward them to be prosperous after our death. The realm of ghaib, the realm of unseen, there is not relation with other humans, other societies. Just for those I named, God, angels, unseen celestial beings. And our behavior in this world affect our relation toward those beings in the realm of ghaib. Our behavior in this world affect our relation with those beings that are existent in the realm of ghaib. And because of this, it is said, Ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. This world is the field for the hereafter. Let me share with you an story. There was a famous jurist, Shia jurist, was named Agha Sayyid Hassan Najafi Quchani, a famous scholar and Shia alim. He wrote a book titled Siyahat Gharb. Siyahat Gharb, the journey in the West. The West in this title means after death. The land where the sound of this word sets. Agha Najafi in this book narrates the moment of his death and the events that happened to him after his death. Entering the grave, arrival of the angels of questioning, and his life in Barzakh. How he wrote this book, there is two explanations, two interpretations. Some people say that Agha Najafi wrote this book based on hadith, collected the hadith and wrote this book. But I hear from my Ustad, my master, Ayatollah Ansari Shirazi, he quoted Ustad Mutahari that he said Agha Najafi wrote this book based on his mukashafa, spiritual unveiling, when the person transcends time and space and witnesses the reality of the existence. Anyway, in a report in that book, Agha Najafi quoted that once he woke up and saw two strange and mysterious beings were sitting and sniffing his body, the body of Sayyid Hassan Najafi, from his head to his toe, and then put something in a small boxes, and eventually placed all small boxes in a large chest. Agha Najafi narrated that he was a friend in Alam al-Barzakh whose name was Hadi, and asked him that who they are, these beings. His friend said that they are the agent of day and night, and they are sniffing you to find the action that you did in your life. And each one of those small books represent a day and night. And then they put each action to its corresponds day and night, and eventually in a large chest for the day of judgment, accounting. This story, unlike this, shows us that our behavior in this world, in this worldly life, affect our future lives after our death. So, there is a part of ethics that regulate our relation with ghaib and wants to secure the prosperity for our future. So our reason lacks the ability of understanding the ethical codes in this realm. Why? Why? Why our reason cannot understand the ethical codes that relate to this realm? Which realm? The realm that we want to have relation with ghaib, with God, with afterlife, after death. Why our reason is not able? Because our reason does not access to that realm. Because our reason is limited in this worldly material world and does not access to that realm, to the realm of akhirah, to the realm of ghaib. And there is a need for someone who oversight of those lives and that realm. And that someone is not other than God. God should teach his human being through direct teaching how he teaches those ethical codes. This is where the role of prophet and revelations appear. As the Quran says, وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا أَوْ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ أَوْ يُرْسِلَ رَسُولًا فَيُوحِيَ بِإِذْنِهِ مَا يَشَاءُ إِنَّهُ عَلِيٌّ حَكِيمٌ. So, the mistake that this approach made is that he said that our reason is able to understand all ethical norms. It is not right. Our reason cannot understand a part of ethics that relate to ghaib, to our future, to unseen world. So, our reason cannot provide us with the ethical code that secure our prosperity for after our death. So we need religion in this part. Is it clear? Or not? Okay. Yes. Another part of ethics is a part that regulates our relation with other humans, other society, in this world, in this material life. Yes, in this realm, our reason is reference. And in this realm, religion does not bring any new ethical codes other than what our reason described for us. And even if this in this realm, religion prescribes some ethical codes, it is irshadi, advisory, not original and Mawlavi. Because our reason can understand ethical norms that relate to this worldly material life. And we have many Quranic verses and hadith, prophetic hadith that acknowledge that sufficiency of reason in this part of ethics. For example, if I want to refer to some of them, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. What is the meaning of this verse? By the soul and the proportion given to it and its inspiration as to its wrong and its right. God states clearly that He has inspired the soul to recognize right and wrong within the context of this worldly life. Or in hadith, there is a very interesting hadith. I recite the hadith. Wabisat ibn Ma'bad, one of the companions of the Prophet, Holy Prophet, Anna Nabi qala lahu ji'ta tas'aluni anil birr wal ism. The Prophet said to Wabisa, you came to me to ask me about what is wrong, what is sin, what is wrong, what is right. فقال نعم فجعل أنامله فجعل ينكت بهن في صدري ويقول يا وابسة استفت قلبك واستفت نفسك 3 مرات. البر ما اطمأنت إليه النفس والاسم ما حاك في النفس وتردد في الصدر. The Prophet Muhammad said to Wabisa, ask your own heart, O Wabisa. Consult your own soul, Ya Wabisa. Prophet repeated it 3 times and said, righteousness is that which bring peace to your soul. And sin is that which wavers in the heart, even if people give you a different verdict. In another hadith, the Prophet said, Al-birru husnul khulq wal ismu ma haka fi sadrik wa karihta an yattali'a alayhi an-nas. Goodness is good character, and sin is that which creates a knot in your chest, and you would hate for people to find out about it. And it is fascinating that we have a hadith that clearly acknowledges that whatever religion brings in this realm of ethics, worldly ethics, is just irshadi, advisory, not anything else. The hadith is that the Prophet said, Annal amana. Listen carefully to this hadith, very interesting. Annal amana nazalat fi jazr qulub al-rijal summa nazal al-Quran fa'alimu min al-Quran wa'alimu min as-sunnah. Trustworthiness, amana, descended into the roots of men's heart. Then the Quran was revealed and they learned it from the Quran and the Sunnah. It means that before Nuzul al-Quran, God sent this part of ethics to the heart of people. So this was my answer from a point of a believer who believes in lives after this. But non-believer who does not believe in life after this, he believes that after our death we turn to dust and all over, nothing else. From the point of non-believer, my answer to this question, the need for religion, for being ethical person, is that even if we believe that our reason is capable of understanding all ethical norms, so the vital question remains unanswered. Why do we need to follow our reason? Why we sacrifice our interest to follow our reason instruction? Why? There is a need for guarantee of enforcement, even our reason is capable. Our reason is judge, not a police. Reason has no power other than recognizing and understanding. There is a need for another source who make guarantee for observance of the ethical norms. And that source is religion, by providing the punishment and providing the reward in Jannah, in hell. So it guarantee of enforcement ensured by religion. I want to ask you a question. You heard many times the hadith from Imam Ali that he said that as it is common between people, they believe that Imam Ali said worship should not be based on fear or greed to paradise, fear of hell and greed for paradise. While in my second answer, I said that the paradise and punishment provide guarantee for observance of the ethical norms. How we get together this answer with the hadith of Imam Ali? How do you think about this? Listen, this is a common mistake about this hadith. Imam Ali never said that we should not worship Allah for the fear of hell or for the greed for paradise. Never Imam Ali said this. This is a wrong reading of this hadith. Imam Ali just divided the level of worship. He said worship has 3 levels. The first level, the level of traders, those who worship God for greed for paradise. The second, the level of slaves, those who worship for the fear of hell. And the third and the highest level is the level of free, those who worship God just for the sake of God. This is the highest level. Imam Ali did not say that all people have to reach this highest level, because Imam Ali knows that we cannot govern and sustain society considering a special, a small group of people who reaches this highest level. So, according to my second answer, the role of religion in ethics is just guarantee of enforcement. And in my first answer, the role of religion was that it provides us with the prosperity for our future lives. I think the time is over, yeah? Okay. And just as a proof, even Immanuel Kant, that I mentioned him as a supporter of that idea, the non-religious spirituality that is common in the West, he said that we need religion as a guarantee. Immanuel Kant was not non-religious. The difference is just that we started from religion to reach ethics. Kant started from ethics to reach religion, justice. So the second answer alongside with the first answer, I think solve this challenge and this question. I wanted to talk about other things. Just a point. My speech, these two answers, has a hidden implication. A hidden implication. I'm not going to point out to that hidden implication because I want to stimulate your power of thought. And I believe that religious discourse and religious speech should compel listeners to think and to reflect. And because of this, I want you to mention the hidden implication of my speech tonight. And maybe, who knows, maybe I give a prize to anyone who write the correct answer to this question. Okay, we are at the threshold of the holy months of Ramadan, and I hope that we all get success from tawfiq from Allah to perform our duties in these holy months. I end my speech with the dua for our Imam Mahdi. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم إن لم تكن غفرت لنا فيما مضى من شعبان فاغفر لنا فيما بقي منه. إلهي هب لي كمال الانقطاع إليك وأنر أبصار قلوبنا بضياء نظرها إليك. This is a part of مناجات شعبانية. إلهي هب لي كمال الانقطاع إليك وأنر أبصار قلوبنا بضياء نظرها إليك حتى تخرق أبصار القلوب حجب النور فتصل إلى معدن العظمة فتصير أرواحنا معلقة بعز قدسك بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.